Hello BIOL1001, welcome to the course. This video is meant to give you an overview of the course website and how the course functions online. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the Canvas site. This is a Canvas-based course. To start, go to Dashboard. You'll find your course here. I'm assuming you've already done this because you're watching this video and it's embedded in this course page. That's going to take you to the home page, which you probably have already seen. Mine's going to look a little different than yours because I'm an instructor. I can edit things, but for the most part, the components that I'm going to talk about are all going to be the same. So here's the link to the home page. This will take you to the page we're looking at now. Under the banner, you have links to 6 bits of important information: the syllabus, the calendar, the modules, which is how this course is laid out, and I'll talk about those in a minute. You have links to help. You have MIT, Proctorio, and if we end up using a Launchpad service, there will be a link there as well. Then we have the course Q&A. This is where you can ask questions of me about course content and course activities. How are things going? I don't understand this. This lab isn't working. First stop for asking me questions related to the course. It's also open, so anyone can come and check it. People can use that information that I might have provided you in an answer to answer their own questions. So it's a great place to for us to have a conversation about this course. I encourage you to post any questions related to the course there first. You can always, of course, email me. That information is located here. But the course Q&A is a good, we want to build an open forum where everyone can kind of talk to each other about how the course is going, and that's what the course Q&A is. Then, of course, you have your group forums. That's where you and your group are going to be communicating primarily on activities, homework assignments, lab activities. The group forum is your forum, your group's forum, to communicate as they want, and the link to that is here. You have an orientation quiz that this is what you need to take before the rest of all the course content opens up to you, and that includes information on the syllabus, the schedule, and the online course guide. So be sure you take the orientation quiz. You can take it as many times as you want until you pass, but we want to double check to make sure you've done that kind of introductory reading so you know how this course is going to work. It's very important that you understand how this course works. It's a bit different than most traditional courses, obviously, and even most traditional online courses. Beneath that is a kind of a list of all the units that we're going to be covering in this course, and they consist of either 2 to 4 week sections that cover different topics in biology, which I'll talk about in a subsequent video related to content. But when you click on these links, they will take you to an overview homepage for that week. And that homepage contains the following information. It contains the modules, which is a list of all the assignments that are due that week. It includes an introduction, kind of what we're doing, why we're doing it. You'll also find there this video. So at this point, you've already reached the first homepage. And you're looking at this introduction to the Canvas site. Not Moodle site anymore, but Canvas. And then it gives you a few prompting questions. Did you ever think about what we're going to be talking about in this way or that way, to get you kind of thinking about the content, and then some background information. This first week is primarily related to the course, but we also provide some biological background information to kind of get you thinking about the material before you actually start doing your learning. And where you're going to start doing your learning is in the module. So if you go up to the top, click on this, the module will drop down. This is the same information you will find if you click on the module link here, or the module link I pointed out at the home page. Every week is structured in the same way. You have the overview, which is the page you're looking at now. You have a set of activities that are kind of broken down into learn, apply that learning, do a lab activity, and then a summary activity that kind of is a review of what you did that week. Week 1 also has an introductory section because we're introducing ourselves to the course. So this is where you're going to do a Flipgrid introduction video, put a face to a name, and you're going to start interacting with your team so that you can get to know each other and get on the same page about how your weeks are going to work. You can structure your week any way you want, but you want to make sure that you and everyone in your group is working together. Successful students in this course are in successful teams, so it's important that you take that seriously, that you work with your group to make sure you get your contribution to any team assignment done on time, okay? I can't emphasize that enough. these aren't sort of like novelties that we've built into the course. This course is group focused, so it's important that you take the group work seriously and respect your group mates. That's what this introductory section is about. Other than that, every other week is going to be structured as follows. You have your learning activities, which include any reading that we're going to have you do, any sort of related quiz. So typically on a typical week, this is again a slightly different because you're going to be doing more team-based introductory activities. But in a typical week, you do a reading assignment and you take a quiz associated with that reading. You might also watch a lecture video and then take a quiz associated with that lecture video. Either or, this is where you get the primary, this is your primary introduction to the content for that week, okay? This is your baseline introduction. After doing that, you will be doing a group homework exercise that we call essential questions. So you're taking that information you learned from the textbook, from the lecture video, and you're applying it to a set of higher level questions that really emphasize the understanding of that content. So these are done with your group. You want to make sure that you understand the answers that your group comes up with, though, because if you just coast on what your group does, you're not going to do very well on the exams. So make sure that you take these group essential questions seriously. Make sure you read them individually and you can answer them individually. And the way they work is generally you get a point for participating in the discussion of the essential questions with your group, and then you get points as a group for your submitted assignment. Finally, for activities each week, you have lab activities. And so for the first week, there's not a lot of activities. Some weeks you have multiple activities. The key thing to being successful in the lab is reading the lab manual before you start the lab activity so there are no surprises halfway through doing the lab. Also, make sure you read the lab manual at the beginning of the week before you start the lab so you know what's coming, you know how much time you need to prepare for the lab. Some of these labs take multiple days, so make sure you give yourself time. And then at the end of the week, you have a before you go. So this is kind of a summary of what you learned that week. What did you find confusing? What might you have wished a little bit more information on? That's really our chance as instructors to check in on you guys and see how you're doing, see where we can help, see what additional information we can provide, and where the sticking points are and where we can really intervene. So take those seriously because we do check them. They're graded, of course, but we do check them and we make sure that you guys are either getting the content or you're not, and then we can help you get that content, okay? And then, of course, obviously, if you have any questions, you can always email me directly about course content, but this is a nice way for us to check in and see what's working and what's not working. And then, of course, this is a module progress bar. It kind of checks off activities as you move along the week. So that's a general outline of the course. You also, like I said, a link to the homepage. This will again take you to the modules. Discussions include the course Q&A, group forums, any announcements that I publish related to the course, like updates about the course, due dates that are coming up. All of that is going to be up top at recent announcements. They're not going to come into your email. I'm not going to email you directly. I'm going to post things on the recent announcements that should send you an email, but that might take a little bit longer. So I encourage you to check the course website regularly to see if there's any new announcements related to the course. And you also have grades, and then of course people. So if you want to find out where your team is, you go click on people and click on teams, and that will take you to teams and show you who's in your group and what group you're in. So that is the overview of the course. If you have any questions, please email me. I'm happy to answer them, and otherwise, that's it.